So at the moment, it seems like Ubisoft's future is hanging on one game, and that's Assassin's Creed Shadows. The game launched yesterday, it's been out for more than 24 hours now, and we can get a rough idea how it's received, what people are thinking. When it comes to gaming outlets, right, news outlets, the reception seems to be pretty well. It seems to pan in between like in 7, 8, 9. The average consensus, I would say, is probably around an 8 out of 10, something like that. So not a bad game. Lots of people praise the graphics. They say it's a nice step up from previous Assassin's Creed games. So I'm not here to say it's an awful game, right? The game sucks. That's not the point. However, there seems to be a bit of a discrepancy between what Ubisoft is communicating in terms of popularity and player numbers, for example, and what is the real world. Now, I want to break this down for you guys because, again, after launch, it's not even 4 p.m. here in Canada. That's what Assassin's Creed, the official account, tweeted. And Assassin's Creed Shadows already passed 1 million players. Amazing. 1 million players. So it's going really well, right? It's just going so well. Now, let me tell you, as someone who, in the wider sense, had worked or works in marketing, I can tell you that numbers like that, whenever it's about engagement numbers, whatever, they are always fudged a little bit. They're always fudged a little bit. The question is just how much are they fudged? This, to me, seems a bit of a stretch, right? I was like, that seems like a lot. Like on the first day, 1 million players and counting. So I did a bit of an investigation and I brought up Steam charts. And if you look at Assassin's Creed Shadows numbers on Steam charts right now, and obviously keep in mind, this is just Steam. It does not include console player numbers and so on, but the numbers are not great. We get a 41,200 24-hour peak. And again, while that does not represent all players, it does give you a little bit of a ballpark number that you can basically loosely extrapolate across other platforms. Let me give you another example. Not long ago, Stalker 2 launched, right? A very anticipated game. And when that came out, and keep in mind, Stalker 2, for example, was also on Game Pass, right? So if you're a Game Pass subscriber, you get the game for free as part of your subscription. But even that game on Steam launched to 120,000, almost 121,000 players. If you look at the currently most played single-player games on Steam, you can see that Assassin's Creed Shadows sits on the 15th place, down here, on the very bottom of this list. And even fairly new game, right, like Monster Hunter Wilds, currently has 130,000, again, almost 131,000 players, active players playing this game right now. So I'm just like, if you're saying you already surpassed 1 million players and counting, it's like, where does that number come from? How do you get to this number? Do you count every single person that ever looked at the game? Is it the numbers of games that you actually shipped, plus everyone who had early access, plus everyone who got a review copy, plus all internal testers? Like, it feels like they took a little bit of creative freedom on how they got to that numbers. But then again, I don't know that, right? I'm just speculating here. It might be that consoles are responsible for 95% of the player numbers. It's not impossible, but in my personal opinion, that's unlikely. I don't think that makes a lot of sense that 95% of players are on console. But look, I'm just speculating. I'm just making an observation here. It just seems slightly off to me as I saw this. However, what's also interesting is that on the same day, in the light of the launch of Assassin's Creed Shadows, other games came out that try to cash in on the back of this game. For example, Yasuke Simulator, right? Yasuke Simulator launched on the same day as Assassin's Creed Shadows on Steam as well. And look, man, I haven't played this game. I don't know what it is. I looked at player numbers. Not many people are playing it. A few hundred are playing it. But like, it seems to be some kind of parody, right? It's just a parody game where you play a character that suspiciously looks a lot like Yasuke in Assassin's Creed Shadows. You can wield guns, you can run around, you can drive cars. I don't know what's going on there, but I mean, that's kind of funny. I appreciate that kind of level of parody. I think that's pretty cool. And the game holds a very positive user rating at this point. So to me, it just seems like there are quite a few things that are not lining up in how this was communicated. And then on top of all of that, you start to get also more critical voices, because it's often the same, right? A new game launches, like for example, Black Myth Wukong comes out, people are hyped. The first 2 weeks, everyone's like, great, 8 out of 10, amazing game. And then slowly this initial hype excitement is just calming down, right? And everyone calms down a bit and people are like, yeah, actually, the game is good, but it's not that great, and people are slightly waking up and coming out of that hype bubble that they were in. And it seems like that just one day after launch, this is starting to happen now already. Like, we get this article here on PC Gamer that's titled Assassin's Creed Shadows has convinced me that Ubisoft will never make a good RPG. Mainly breaking down that there are loads of kind of RPG systems in the game, but they are so simplified and condensed down that they completely lack the depth, right? And obviously, we've seen it with, like, I don't know, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Baldur's Gate 3. People want that level of choice, right? That's what, I mean, not every RPG player wants this, I guess. You can have more casual RPGs, I guess. Avowed is kind of going into that as well, where they're very much simplifying game mechanics and systems. But I think a lot of people who love RPG games, who are willing to put 100, 200 hours into a game like that and really dive into that world, they want the complexity. They don't want these simplified, almost dumbed down RPG mechanics. They want the full experience. And it feels like this, again, I haven't played Assassin's Creed Shadows, but it's another example where they do this half-baked job. It's not here nor there. You know what I mean? Like, it is an RPG and it has some, but at the same time, it really lacks the depth. And like, so I think we are now in the phase that the world of video games, not the whole world, is slowly waking up to the reality of what Assassin's Creed Shadows actually is. That it is not a bad game, by all means, right? But Assassin's Creed Odyssey wasn't a bad game. Assassin's Creed Origins wasn't a terrible game. These games are fun. These games are fine to play. They're casual, but they are not this outstanding masterpiece. And mainly, they are probably not the game that is so outstanding and breathtaking that it would be able to turn this around for Ubisoft, because everything is hanging on the success of that game. And if you look at the Steam charts numbers again, 41,200 players in a 24-hour peak, that's the peak of the game at launch. Those are not great numbers, no matter how you twist it and turn it. And again, maybe most players are on console, it's possible, I'm just reading what I see here, but you can kind of extrapolate from these numbers, and it's not looking very, very good. But look, this is my opinion, this is my take. And again, I'm not saying it's a bad game. It's probably a fun game, as I said. Odyssey, Origins, fun games. It's all right, they look good, you can play them, it's casual, you can explore feudal Japan or, ancient Egypt and all that. It's fun to do that, but it feels like Ubisoft needed more at this point. Ubisoft needed something that really propels them and puts them back on the radar as this developer who can develop a proper RPG, who can develop a game that is just a milestone and where everyone's like, this is incredible, right? This changes everything for Ubisoft, and I don't think that's what's happening here. But guys, please leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. Are you playing the game? Do you love the game? How far into it are you? What are you enjoying about it? Where do you see this game going in terms of popularity in the far future? In a month, 2, 3, 4 months, are we still going to talk about Assassin's Creed Shadows, or is it just going to kind of go away? Leave all your thoughts, anything you want to contribute down in the comment section below. I would appreciate that. Subscribe to the channel, smash the like button. Also consider joining our Discord. I'll leave the link in the description. Okay, lots of people hang out there, and I would love to continue this conversation with you over on our Discord, because there's a lot to talk about. I appreciate your time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. I'm out. Bye.